station of Fox Sports.
We are the Fourth. We are Florida.
All weekend in South Florida. A lot to do, a lot to see. And as afternoon turns tonight, the Marlins and the White Sox are inside Marlins Park. And awaiting you all is a Cliff Floyd bobblehead. And awaiting us is a visit from Cliff Floyd tonight, one of our favorites, as the Fish and the White Sox go at it. There's Cliff. We can even talk Chicago with Cliff Floyd. Hi, everybody. Rich Walsh along with Eduardo Perez. You go through it in 162 games. You go through the ups and the downs, and the Marlins have hit a lull right now. And Don Mattingly has said it's time to snap out. It's time to get going.
Well, they have to, and I think D. Gordon will be a catalyst early on. He has to set the tone. If he gets on, he has to be able to create pressure. You have James Shields on the mound tonight, and he is the type of guy that you can run on. So let's see if he can get on, and Martin Prado and the rest of the crew gets it going, starting to play their type of style of baseball, putting pressure on the defense.
This lull for the Marlins can be traced to the offense and the numbers. Eduardo, did you see this coming? Is this just a blip on the radar?
We're hoping it's a blip on the radar. You have the average with runners in scoring position, 2 for 21. Any team that has struggled this season, you look always at that number. It's the clutch base hits, and it happens to teams throughout the season. It's too long not to happen. Even the Chicago Cubs, which have been strong all season long, they went through a rut like this. Hopefully the Marlins can get out of it, because I know the fans are desperate for that offense to do so.
When Adam Conley got to the big leagues, a lot of people said, you know, he looks like Chris Sale. Well, guess what? Chris Sale is here, and so is Adam Conley. Sale starts tomorrow. Conley starts tonight. We thought we'd put them side by side for you and tell us what you see.
I like what you did also with the old uniform style there, but look at the arm release. You see, it doesn't look so similar until this point. The angle, the release point, is where they start really looking similar. The same angle. It's hard for a right-handed hitter to really study and practice hitting off a lefty like that, because you don't see that during batting practice. You usually see the lefties coming over the top a little bit more. You don't see them coming from here. You always have to be ready for one side of the plate. You have to pick one side early. If it's the inside part or the outside part. With Chris Sale, he's so good because he dominates both angles. That's what makes him so consistent.
White Sox have got James Shields going tonight. We'll tell you about him in a little bit as the Fish and the White Sox get ready to go. D. Gordon starting to get that swagger back, as Eduardo said. And when we get back, Craig Minervini and Jeff Conine will talk about the Marlins leadoff man. is the presenting sponsor of Miami Marlins baseball. And you can see a little tinge of orange dancing around the skyline of Miami as sun is setting in South Florida. Let's go out to center field. Craig Minervini, Jeff Conine, gentlemen.
Hi, Rich, and hi again, everybody. That does look beautiful out there. Marlins will try to get in the win column tonight against the Chicago White Sox. One igniter, certainly, and he's back. It seems to be on his form from last year, is D. Gordon at second base.
Yeah, D. Gordon after his 80-game suspension. You know there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve with getting back into the big leagues. It is not the minor leagues. We've seen him take his missteps early in this comeback, but since returning July 28th, wow. 314 average. Look at the on-base percentage, 410. That means he's getting a lot of walks, which I think he didn't really do much last year. 7 for 9 stolen bases. Much needed speed component here for this Marlins lineup. And of course leads Major League Baseball with 8 infield hits.
He walked 3 times the other night against San Francisco. His defense has been superlative too, but he's so important up top of that lineup. Gets on base, and then he's trouble. He's got 7 steals, too, in that time.
Well, when you look at what the leadoff guy does for your offense, especially in that first inning, which tonight I think is critical to get off to a good start, they need D. Gordon on and for him to score runs.
And that speed element, first to third, and obviously anything in the gaps in this ballpark, if you're on first base, you can score. And he's fun to watch, too. He's exciting. And, you know, if he can get that energy going, the team seems to feed off that, too, Niner.
Absolutely. Put pressure on the defense, and that's what he does with his speed.
All right, some thunder bombs going on outside this ballpark, but no problem. We are indoors, and we are set for Game 2 of this 3-game series coming up as the Marlins try to tie it up. They lost 4-2 last night. Tonight, it's Conley and Shields in the matchup next on Fox Sports Florida.
Sports Florida is brought to you by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica, by Southwest, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide, and by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. That is a live look outside of Marlins Park. Rainstorm just came in and went out. White Sox lineup, and it's brought to you by UHealth Sports Medicine.
Adam Eaton will be leading off today. Last night, 4 for 5, doing what a leadoff hitter has to do. 41 multiple hit games, tied for 8th in Major League Baseball. Jose Abreu from Cuba will be in the cleanup spot. Jason Coates will be in the 7th spot playing right field.
And a strike to Adam Eaton. Tyler Saladino, Melky Cabrera to follow. Deoner Navarro and James Shields round out that White Sox lineup. Adam Conley works quickly. And he misses away with a slider. Numbers are good. Marlins have played well. when Conley starts. And maybe it's the combination of how quickly he works and the numbers he puts up.
I like the first one. I think the first one really dictates the rest of the stuff. And the Chicago White Sox organization, watching Mark Burley pitch for many years in Chicago, know about having a pitcher work quickly. It keeps the defense into the game at all times.
3-1 pitch. Change up and a strike. And you're right, Eaton was a demon last night. 4 hits. The White Sox came out without a lot of sleep and smacked the Marlins right in the nose with 2 runs in the first. And Eaton gets flipped on a 3-2 pitch, and he'll toss the bat and head down to first base.
Well, Eaton's diving in there, keeping that head in. Not as close as he thought it was.
No, that isn't that far inside. And they did look in. That's pitch 6. Now look on Fox Tracks, it looks way in.
Yeah, Fox Tracks flinched also.
Yes. And if I were Eaton, I'd have been on my back. A bunt by Saladino. Eaton fields, goes to first in time. The White Sox playing a bit of little ball here. We've got a runner in scoring position from Melky Cabrera. Miami defensively, Southwest Airlines proud to represent Yelich, Ozuna, and Stanton. Prado, Echeverria, D. Gordon, Derek Dietrich on the infield, JT Realmuto behind the plates. Skipper Don Mattingly, the Fish have hit a offensive lull. We talked about it at the top of the telecast. Marlins last night just 2 runs on 4 hits. Shut out on Wednesday and 2-0 winners on Tuesday.
I'm really surprised, and I don't think Robin Ventura put the bunt sign on. I think that was all about Saladino doing that on his own. This early in the game, especially with James Shields on the mound for the White Sox, he has struggled as of late. His last outing, 1 1/3 innings. He's had already 4 outings this season that he's thrown less than 3 innings. So I do not know. I imagine Robin Ventura needs more than just one run to be scored in order to win this game. And you watch this pitch right here. Taking some off, Melky Cabrera swinging out in front.
Got him. Conley strikes out Melky Cabrera. The Marlins have won 7 of Conley's last 10 starts.
Well, if he's sitting off speed pitch, all of a sudden Adam just throws him right down the middle. Gets him looking. I'm telling you, it's a different angle. You see how Melky flinched a little bit right there. Not used to seeing it. Right-handed hitters struggle first time around against Adam.
Do you think some of the White Sox position players will have a little bit better idea of what it's like to face Chris Sale after they see Conley here for a few innings?
Yes, same release spot. Exactly. Fortunately for them, that's the one guy they don't really want to see, and they don't have to see all year.
Abreu shoots it down the right field line, and that is going to be extra bases, and Chicago scores first again tonight. One of the trademarks of the right-handed Cuban hitters is the ability to hit the ball to the opposite field with power.
And Jose Abreu, the first time I saw him was in Barcelona in the World Cup. You see Adam misses location inside, and that's one thing he has always been able to do. And that's go the other way with authority. That's why he's never struggled getting runners in, driving them in.
Todd Frazier now. Frazier last night, couple hits, including a double. Having a big year with power, not so much average. 296 on base. But the homers have his slugging percentage up at 465. He also has struggled with runners in scoring position this year, hitting just to 139.
I think that's where the struggles from Puig, which is at second base, has come also, in numbers not being where they're used to being. I mean, Abreu struggling with his number.
I know what's happening to you right now.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
You are just so thrilled about a gold medal for Puerto Rico tonight. Monica Puig, women's tennis.
Oh man, that's something. Gold medal.
And for Puerto Rico, who needs something like this, you know,
this is huge.
Losing the Marlins Pirates games, the athletics down there. Now a gold medalist.
And you mentioned power when it comes to Frazier, and I was thinking Pica power from Monica Puig. That's what they call her, or Puigneta, which everybody in Puerto Rico is excited about.
3 minutes to air, and Eduardo's jumping up and down like a little kid up here.
Pumped.
All right, Frazier with a count 2-2, and he steps out. I think you'll see some of the veteran White Sox hitters do that to try to slow Conley down.
Going back to the runners in scoring position, if Frazier is struggling like this, 139 on the season, go after him, leave Puig. There we go again. Leave Abreu alone.
Frazier strikes out, 1-0 White Sox. As the fish and the White Sox are underway. Miami's lineup brought to you by U Health Sports Medicine.
A lot of runs to be had with this lineup. Martin Prado will be following D. Gordon. He'll be in the 2 spot. 104 singles, third most in Major League Baseball. Getting on base. Guys behind them, Yelich, Stanton, Ozuna, need to be driving them in. So far in the last 3 games, this team only 13 hits. They're looking for a little bit more.
And they're facing a guy that has handled them before. D. Gordon pulls one to Saladino, White Sox second baseman. 1 pitch and 1 out. James Shields trying to regain the magic that gave him the nickname Big Game James. You can see the numbers so far, 5.43 ERA. He has shown glimpses of what he used to be. He had an outstanding July. But in August, he's been roughed up. 2 August starts, 14 runs combined.
His last outing was not good at all. An inning in the 3rd, quick hook, 8 runs allowed. And keep an eye on the elevation. If he starts pitching up in the zone like that, that's where he gets in trouble.
Four home runs given up in that start to the Orioles.
And he continues to pitch up in the zone. Has to be able to move. Keeps in the same location. That's where he gets in trouble.
lifetime 6-2 with a 3.42 against Miami. But those numbers are actually sharpened since the start of 2011. 5 starts and a 0.71 ERA. So the later in years for Shields, the better he's been against Miami. 3-1 to Prado. You've got Yelich and Stanton and Ozuna all lined up behind him. And Prado pops it up. Saladino is there to make the catch. White Sox defense, including Saladino's mustache, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Melky Cabrera, Adam Eaton. Jason Coates makes his series debut. Todd Frazier and Jose Abreu on the corners. Saladino and Tim Anderson, young shortstop up the middle. Deoner Navarro, who's been through the wars behind the plate. Long time Major League catcher. And here is Yelich. No Marlin more wanted to erase last night's performance than Yelich, who punched out 4 times, for only the 2nd time in his young career. And he pulls that one to second. Saladino, a busy inning. 8 pitches for James Shields.
Marlins Baseball es presentado en español vía SAP por West Kendall Toyota.
All right, ready to go. It's the second. Tim Anderson, Jason Coates, Deoner Navarro. And that leadoff walk bit Adam Conley in the first. 1-0 White Sox. Anderson was 1 for 3 last night. This is a young player that the White Sox are really high on. Getting his first taste of the big leagues, 23. And he's a little like D. Gordon. He didn't really play baseball until his junior year in high school. Now, Gordon played baseball growing up, but it wasn't until about D's junior year, senior year high school, that he really decided to really go after baseball. He was a terrific, D was a terrific high school basketball player. And this guy's had some nice numbers in the minor leagues, and he rips that one by Prado down into the corner. Anderson to second, and he holds with a double.
During batting practice today, while the Marlins were hitting, Todd Frazier made sure that this kid, Tim Anderson, got to meet the Hall of Famers when when it came to introducing them to my dad, Tony Perez, and also to Hawk, Andre Dawson. So just making sure that, listen, you know, you're in the big leagues, you're young, but this is history right here. And these are two gentlemen that you have to meet, and you have to give a lot of credit for the leadership of what Todd Frazier did, making sure he introduced them to legends.
There is the Todd father. Had a chance to chat with him today myself, and he said this is the time of year where he gets lots of interview requests about the Little League World Series and that great run by Toms River, New Jersey. Here is Jason Coates. He takes outside. Another young player come up in the White Sox system. 3 years older than Anderson at 26. And a TCU product. Grew up in Plano, Texas. Conley with a count 1-1. 2 strikeouts, a walk, 2 doubles. And that's kind of the night for Conley so far. Two and 1.
Coach really patient at the plate. 9 strikeouts so far this season, but 5 walks. That's why his on-base percentage is a lot higher.
Gordon makes the catch. Conley gets the first out. Place a deposit on a 2017 season ticket plan and guarantees you access to the 2017 All-Star Game in Miami. Don't miss a chance to secure your seats for the once-in-a-generation event and get in on all the All-Star Week activities. Deposits start at just $250. 1-877-MARLINS, the number, or go to marlins.com/season tickets. Conley has a bit of an escape hatch here to this inning. All-Star Game logo up on the scoreboard. Deoner Navarro. And Navarro calling timeout with Gordon dancing back and forth. There is Shields as he waits to hit. Not nearly the hitter that his cousin was in the big leagues. Aaron Rowand. A proud White Sox.
This is the at bat. This is the hitter that the Marlins need to get. The 8-hole hitter yesterday. The 8-hole hitter first 3 times up walked. Want to be able to go after him, not put him on, then finish the inning with Shields.
Last night, Omar Narvaez was the catcher, and you're right, he walked 3 times and singled in the 8 spot. 0-2. Flipped foul and out of play. Anderson at second.
You don't want to help this offense. This Chicago White Sox offense since the All-Star break, averaging the lowest in all of Major League Baseball when it comes to runs scored, 3.26 runs per game. That includes yesterday's game, which they scored 4.
Up the middle, and the White Sox have another run, and it's that 8 spot that hurts the Marlins again. Last night, Narvaez tonight, Navarro.
Wants to throw that two-seamer. It stays straight down and away. Give a lot of credit to the hitter. Navarro hitting it right back up the middle, not trying to do so much with it. Stays with it, protecting the strike zone, and gets himself a steak, a ribby. That's a big one for the White Sox, especially with Shields coming up, and expect the bunt right here, even with one out.
It's a foul ball. One of the things that Derek Dietrich is learning at first base is when to leave on a play like this. On that last road trip, Dietrich at one point busted in so quickly that the runner at second, or the runner at first, had a running head start to second base. Fastball's up. It's 1-1.
And those are signs that you can go with a pitcher, especially a left-handed pitcher. Should go up to him every time, say, I'm going, I'm not. And when you're not, you can fake a couple steps and then go right back to the bag as soon as he kicks his leg up. It's aggressive by Robin Ventura right there, allowing James Shields, and that was a nice swing to swing the bat. Another thing you don't see is starting pitchers on the day they pitch swing the batting practice. They usually do it the day before. James Shields was out there taking his batting practice today.
Shields sends that into center. Ozuna is there and he makes the catch. Of the Marlins starting pitchers, Jose Fernandez is the guy that likes to swing every day. He would talk his way into batting practice. The Marlin pitchers on a daily basis hit in the cage. And here is Eaton again.
Well, I think with that pinch hit, that big pinch hit double that he had in Atlanta.
That should buy him some cage time?
That should buy him some field time.
Some
Absolutely.
field time.
Say, Skip, remember that? Remember when?
When you needed me and I came through?
I was there for you. Now, are you going to be there for me? It's a good case.
Eaton has been on base 5 of his 6 plate appearances in the series. He's a really interesting player. He never really got a chance to play a lot on an everyday basis in Arizona. And with the White Sox, he has started to show that he's a real nice player. And last year he had a .361 on base, 28 doubles, 9 triples. He leads the American League in triples right now.
He's matured a lot, and last year he was caught in the trap where at some point of the season he was trying to get the ball in the air too much instead of hitting on the ground and using your speed. Trying to hit more line drives. Instead, he was trying to hit home runs, and he was getting a little bit too happy with it, and it was costing him a little bit. Started off not too good, but then finished up strong, was able to make the adjustment.
Is part of that playing half of his games in the White Sox home ballpark, which is not a big part and noted as a great place to hit home runs?
Yes, and I think that's affected not only him, it's affected Frazier also, which there's a jet stream going to left field, and you end up being more of a pull hitter in that ballpark, and that's why his average has suffered.
Full count. And Conley walks in for the second time tonight. Well, Andrew Kashner last night threw a lot of pitches early and ended up lasting just 5 innings. Conley has already reached 41 pitches, and he's not out of the second. Saladino, who had a nice night last night, a couple hits, double, knocked in a run. that one to left. Yelich looks up. One hop off the wall. Eaton is flying around third. And 2 more runs come home. Tyler Saladino makes it 4-0 White Sox.
Well, you start getting really predictable when it comes to the pitches. You miss with the slider first pitch, and once you miss with it, look where this next pitch is. Right down the middle, bullseye. Great target for archery when you're going right down the middle right there. Saladino does not miss. Short hops the fence and drives in 2 with 2 outs and the speed of Adam Eaton. He scores easily.
Look how quickly he almost caught Navarro. He's right behind him. Now, mustache equivalent in Major League Baseball. Anybody have that look right now?
There's a couple guys. I think there's one in Oakland that has it and one in Arizona, but facing down that way like that, I even told him today, I said, that's nasty right there. He's all pumped up with it.
Up the middle, off the bat of Melky Cabrera. Gordon goes to first in time. But the White Sox tack on 3 more and lead it 4-0. Look brought to you by Toyota and the all-new RAV4. He's not only big game James, he's lots of games James. Look at this, 321 starts since 2007, and that's tops in Major League Baseball. Verlander at 310, Hamels, King Felix at 306. Shields has been durable. Stanton drives it left center. Wow, get out of here! Like a rocket. My goodness.
He didn't waste any time, did he? First pitch after a long inning. James Shields thinks, okay, he might be taking one. Giancarlo Stanton not missing, being able to get his hands extended. That right there, my friends, is a lenient line drive. Home run. Right off the top of the fence.
I got to think that the exit speed when it's posted on this is 116, 118. .407 feet. Wow, only 105.
Yeah, and he hit it off the end a little bit, I think. I really do. He's a strong cat.
Ozuna cracks a ground ball in the hole. Anderson backhands long throw. Just got him. All right, here's Stanton and the swing.
Watch where he's set up. Hits it off the end a little bit. Ends up pulling it. Jesus strong. See, right off, see where that white spot is in the bat, just a little bit towards the handle. Right there. That's where he wants to hit it. But he's so strong that he has a lot more room for error, a bigger margin to just go yay.
Than mere mortals. That's up the middle, and Saladino is there, and he throws out Real Muto. So James Shields has 2 outs, or excuse me, yeah, has 2 outs here. And as we scout him, Auto Nation presents James Shields.
He's got that 4-pitch arsenal: fastball, the cutter, the change, which is filthy at times when he can keep it down in the curve. Played trumpet as a kid. How about that? Keeping it down in intentional talk. What does that mean? Well, went to the same high school as Kevin Millar, William S. Hart High School in Santa Clarita, California, or Santa Clarita.
Let me help you out there. Hart High School, Santa Clarita.
Where'd the William S. come from?
Well, they never put that on the diploma. It's just, that was his.
Wait a second.
Those were his middle. Those were his initials.
Wait a second. Did you look at Millar's diploma?
No, I don't know that it exists really. Here is Dietrich. The amazing thing is Shields, this is just his 15th pitch. Dietrich, right field, deep, Coates at the wall, and he can't get it. And Dietrich's on his way to third. Wow. That was a long way up and a long way back. And it ends up as a triple.
That ball was misplayed by Coates. A ball that high in the air. He keeps drifting, not knowing how far he is from the wall. First mistake he makes, and then reaches out when he can really get to the wall and then play it from there. Instead, he shuffled, and you watch Derek. He's watching it the whole way. He doesn't know if it's gone or caught. Stops almost halfway, and then goes easily into third base.
All right, now you've got a veteran pitcher in Shields who knows the pitcher is on deck. You got Echeverria in the 8th spot with 2 outs and are under 90 feet away.
You go after him here carefully. Try to hit that bottom half of the strike zone. You know that Davies opens up the zone and chases. So you want to taunt him. You're up 3. You'd rather have Adam Conley start off the inning and try to get that easy out in the bottom of the 3rd inning. No reason to give up right here.
Edge liner left field, and it's caught there by Melky Cabrera. Marlins get a run. Cliff Floyd when we return. Giancarlo Stanton making like Cliff. Wait till you see this bobblehead. Cliff Floyd in the booth. 4-1 White Sox. And Conley to Jose Abreu, one of our favorites. Hi,
What's
buddy?
up, Rich? What's
How
going
are
on,
you?
man?
Good to see you.
Water, what's going
What's
on, brother?
How you doing?
Good?
Doing well?
Yes, sir, man. No complaints. Actually, a great day for me today. I mean, this has been amazing. And first class, everything. I mean, from the time I walked into the building. Funny thing, this guy was walking in, and he goes, I wonder if Cliff Floyd's going to be here today. And I'm standing behind him. I'm like, I don't know.
Only time will tell.
You know?
Now, I got to tell you, we've seen lots of bobbleheads this year. But
Yeah.
This is sweet.
Hit on the head, didn't they?
Love
Look
the
at the
finish.
That's the
swing.
finish,
Look at
right?
the
That is
finish.
right. You know what? When you talk about that, and you got the little forearms. You know, I did work on my forearms when I played. So
Oh, look at that.
yeah.
See what he notices?
You know
the
what I'm saying? The
forearms.
forearms. I mean, because I know what gets that pop. And, you know, Stanton just went deep. I mean, to go deep, you got to have that forearm strength.
Now, what did you used to do? A little bit of
Just the curls.
Just the
curls
curls.
back in the day.
When was
You
the
know,
last time?
we
When was the
didn't
last
have-
time you did one of those?
It's been a minute. I'm into yoga now. Yeah, I got 3 kids. I need some R&R. You know what I mean? Like calm, cool, collect.
You have,
You know what I mean?
I have to say, though, I mean, you have blown up with your media career, your broadcasting career on the radio, your show with Craig Mish, and then your work on MLB Network is terrific.
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, it's tough. Well, you know, it's tough coming out the field. And I think the biggest thing for me is seeing things.
On to first, and Abreu is out. Also on FS1 and Fox as well.
Yeah, you know what? Just seeing things differently. I think that's the biggest thing for me, Rich, is just trying to navigate through, you know, not being the same guy that, you know, the typical give you the, you know, the eye wash type of stuff. It'll be something different. The other night I was watching a game with the Cubs and the Cardinals, and, you know, Anthony Rizzo didn't have the emblem on his helmet. And I'm seeing stuff. I'm going, I would never see that if I was playing, but you start to see different things, starting to see how guys are positioned differently with the shifts and all that. So I always just try to be a little different and also still try to be real.
How would you have positioned yourself with defense nowadays?
You know what? I can tell you how many times I hit the ball out to left field. So,
So you mean a complete shift then?
I'd have hit them all over. Don't you dare go past second base on the left side. How about that? Wow.
That's the 3rd time that Frazier has lost his bat with a swing. He did it twice last night. He had his thumb all patched up and taped up, and I got to believe it's a hand injury, a hand issue right now.
And you rarely see bats fly out towards the pitcher. You always see him go into foul ball territory or down the third base line if it's a right-handed pitcher. You see his action, his reaction,
like
better said,
right? But when you have those hands messed up, I mean, you still try to go out there and fight. You got all that tape there. It's uncomfortable.
Hey, you were a Chicago guy, right?
Yeah.
So were you a White Sox or a Cubs guy?
Well, I was a White Sox because my favorite player growing up was Harold Baines, and you know, Wrigley didn't have lights. So what kid was going to be home in the summertime with no lights watching baseball as opposed to, you know, and we had the luxury of having 2 teams in Chicago, right? The Cubs and the White Sox. So, you know, watching Carlton Fisk and Harold Baines, my idol growing up, was awesome for me. But I still knew, of course, through, you know, I mean, it's funny to say, but Harry Carey got me to, you know, love the Cubs also with Leon Durham and Jody Davis and Sean Dunston over there, shortstop, baiting you to like run a little bit past halfway so he can throw a rocket over first base, right?
To 100 at first. Get more grace.
It was awesome.
One of the most impressive things about Cliff Floyd is the charity work that he does in the community. Your bowling tournament has just blown up with the help of our good friend Nancy Olson.
Yes, she's been amazing.
Your bowling event has been just a terrific success, and you have to be pretty proud of that.
Well, I am, and I think the biggest thing is getting, you know, all the support from the community coming out and you know, steadily understanding what I'm trying to do and you know, revitalizing baseball in the city is huge. You know, especially down here. Especially when you start to see what Major League Baseball is trying to do in our commissioner, you know, with the initiatives all across, you know, the country now, right? So my job, you know, without patting myself on the back, because that's not what it's about, is just to try to give these kids the opportunity, whether it be equipments, and not so much even on the field, fellas. More so maybe, you know, as analysts, as getting homework done. Anything to get off the streets and be constructive to our society is huge for me.
How do we take that next step in baseball, though, with reviving baseball in the inner cities, is allowing kids from every ethnicity that don't have the funds for the perfect games, for the showcases, for the travel teams, because that's how kids are recruited to college.
Absolutely.
That's how kids are scouted these days. And if you are not from a family or an area that's got some means to do those things, how do we bridge that gap right now?
Well, I think the big thing for me, and that's a great question, Rich, is to also make sure that we continue to understand what the giving is about.
Never ask a great question with one out and a runner at first and a shot at a double play. But we'll continue that thought, because we've got Cliff for another half inning. White Sox up 4-1. Oh, first pitch. Tell us about this.
Look at that. My son was like, I need to throw out the first pitch. He was nervous when he saw stuff on the big screen, Rich, and I said, look, just throw it somewhere around, and your boy will pick you up. I didn't know I was going to have to scoop him, but I had to take care of my man. He was like, Dad, I got a little nervous.
I was hamstrings.
Yeah. Look,
yoga.
I can't do that no more. I was hoping for right over the middle for him, but I had to pick him up.
All right, let's pick up where we left off. We were talking about RBI.
Yeah.
You run some great charity events that impact RBI, and trying to build a bridge between RBI into Major League Baseball through whether it's college scholarships or getting towards the draft without having the money to go to travel ball showcases and all of that.
Yeah, and I think the big thing, from my foundation, and I think other ones across the way, is you continue to give, Rich, and whether it be, for my foundation this year was $7,500 with our check presentation today, we'll give more, as we go along, and whatever is needed, you sort of try to find a way to make sure they have the equipment or make sure they have the means, right? You go over to, colleges and give out scholarships and all these things to help these kids. It don't have to be about baseball. And other things. It could be about just going to college and getting an education. But I went to New Orleans and saw their academy and was blown away by what I saw from the kids being reporters, being announcers, the teaching them just about academics and how to go about doing your homework, all these things other than baseball. And when you have the academy, you think it's baseball oriented, which it should be, because it's activity, right? And you're getting these kids off the streets, but you have other things that you can also try to be without playing the game. And I was blown away by it.
But that baseball extends.
Absolutely.
That aspect. You had mentioned earlier about Corey Ray, also
Yes.
from the University of Louisville, which was the 5th pick with the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah.
What was his route? Do you know his route to success going to Louisville and then getting picked?
Well, we had his manager, at some point soon to be manager, Craig Counsell, because he's with the Brewers on, and they love the story coming from Chicago, you know, the South Side, and getting a shot at, you know, getting out there. That's gonna be close.
That's safe.
See, I asked these great questions with some excitement going on the field.
Yeah, Gordon and Saladino arriving at the bag. No doubt the White Sox are looking at it in the replay room. We'll get our first look. Adam Conley safely to second. And here is our first look. Take it, Cliff. You're a first baseman at heart.
Talk about this. You see the first initiative look by Abreu was like, should I go to second? And then you go, uh-oh, now you're in no man's land. And you try to make the play, but speed kills, fellas, as we know.
He hesitated. He had him at second base.
He did. If he makes a throw, but you see him fumbling with a guarder right there.
That's where he struggled.
Now, I don't think Saladino touched the bag, but he may have clipped Gordon in the helmet with the glove.
We got a safe.
Oh, he's safe.
Yeah.
We'll take it, though.
Well, the Marlins can use it. Offensively, the last 3 games has been a struggle. And here is Prado now. A slider for a strike from James Shields. BigLeagueImpact.org is a site you might want to check out at home. BigLeagueImpact.org, because you've got another, not really one event, but a really cool thing coming up.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Also a charity, because I know one of your other loves is sitting in your man cave at home, your cliff cave, and watching NFL football. So you've got a fantasy football. This is going on around Major League Baseball, and in particular in the Marlins clubhouse.
Man, I think that's the big thing. Mike Dunn is coming out. Tom Kohler, if he's not pitching, is going to be involved.
Michael Hill?
Michael Hill is going to be involved. I got Christian Yelich. I'm talking to him a little bit. I'm trying to, you know, sway him.
I got an easy pitch for Yelich.
Okay.
His grandfather was a Ram, invented the face mask.
How about that?
And designed the Rams logo on the helmet.
Oh, no, we in.
He invented the face mask.
I mean, he don't have to play baseball, do he?
No.
And still collecting checks.
That's deep. This game is tied.
Team, you talk about no offense, Rich.
Last time the bobblehead, it was for the D train, and he took the call.
Did he?
Giancarlo Stanton hit a home run. He said, "Oh, mama, there goes that man again." So every time, at least the last 2 times we've had a guest with their bobblehead, there goes that man again.
See, he's pointing at me. He's pointing at me, guys. He's like, see, Cliff Floyd in the building. Can't sneak, look, change piece.
This is the problem James Shields has had this season. 4 starts already. He has not been able to get out of the 3rd inning. Last start, an inning and a third, 8 runs. When it starts to snowball, he has trouble from stopping it.
Yeah, what he was doing when he first came over from the Padres, I don't think anybody in baseball had seen that in their life. I mean, it was almost, you know, unbearable to watch. And then he sort of straightened it out a little bit, talking about James Shields, but you cannot throw that pitch to Martin Prado, one of the best hitters in the game today.
Yelich now. And a change up for a strike. Did you miss him as a Ray, or were you guys on the same team and he was a youngster?
That's where I first saw him. I mean, I got there in 08 and he started to become big game James. In 08. And, you know, I talked to him in spring training this year, and I think the one thing that I took from it is those complete games that he threw started to catch up to him. You know, the stuff is not as crisp as it was when I saw him back in 08 with the Rays, but I still want him with the ball. When you talk about veterans in this day and age of analytical, you know, inning caps and all these things, I mean, James Shields will take the ball for you. I don't know what he's going to give you, but he wants the ball every 5th day. That's straddling the fence. You know what I mean? That's why.
Yelich in the cap. That's a bolt.
Y'all want me to leave?
No.
Okay.
Don't move.
You stay right here.
A double for Yelich, and here comes Stanton.
Not only are they getting those singles, but now they're doing the extra base hits, the home run, and now the fastball down and away, and Christian going with it. one thing and one observation with James Shields, he's not pitching in. He used to pitch in a lot more. Not trusting his stuff is what creates that. Not having that velocity like he did in Tampa Bay. Try to be more crafty. You still have to pitch in. I don't care if you're throwing 82 miles per hour or 95 miles per hour.
I agree with you. But also, let me ask you this, Eduardo. You see him more than me. How many batting titles you think that kid at second base gonna have in his career, Christian Yelich?
I say he's due for, I'll say 1 to start off, and after the 1, I'll say 2, because I don't want to get too far away from it. But what he does is he goes the other way with authority, and they're just not slap singles. And anytime a breaking pitch is being thrown, he's learned how to be able to lift that baseball also.
The reason I say that is because what I've seen is him sort of transform or transition into a guy that ball right there for me is a lazy fly ball for most lefties, especially learning and going through what he's going through, some back spasms, some injuries and things like that. You don't stay consistent on the field, you don't get consistent results. So to watch him sort of evolve into this kid that's now driving that ball to the left in the gap, how do you play him? I mean, you have to play him straight up. That's the advantage to him, because in this day and age, you position guys certain ways, but you see every position player straight up. You see outfielders straight up, but you see what's standing up here. You see the shift on a little bit. You can't play Yelich like that. And I think that's the advantage we'll see with him, and that's why batting titles, in my opinion, will come to him, not jinxing him.
Stanton homered back in the second. Martin Prado, a 3-run homer, has tied the game here in the bottom of the third. Stanton's blast, his 25th of the season. He still has a chance to lead the National League in home runs.
That's incredible. Even here, what he went through early on in the season.
Yes.
Never seen anything like it.
No, it was. I'm telling you, brother, it was unreal.
In case you missed it, here's the Stanton home run.
Watch where the pitch is located.
That was middle away. That was corner black away.
Line drive, hit it off the end of the bat. He's got a lot of room for error missing. He doesn't need to barrel it. That's why a lot of pitchers pitch him in. But look at James Shields. Everything's away, away, away. And he's actually giving him first base. He hasn't thrown him a strike yet. In those 5 pitches, he swung at 2 pitches out of the zone.
And I've watched him, when you talk about adjustment to what they're doing, his hands has moved, right? He used to be flat on his back a little bit. Now he has a little movement with his hands. It's not the flat bat on his shoulder. So you watch these guys go through these subtle adjustments, and you have to know that, that's part of the game.
That's a foul ball.
Is that the phone ringing in the bullpen?
Yeah, I think that's the phone ringing going, y'all better start getting loose down there in the White Sox bullpen.
Either that or it's the phone in the Clevelander. And better send some food up to the booth.
I'll tell you, look, in about the 5th inning, I'll give y'all a little wave.
That's on the itinerary, huh?
I got to go down there and make an appearance.
Stan hits a smash out to second. Saladino sacrifices his body to get it, and then throws Stanton out. Now that moves Yelich to third. And here's Ozuna. All right, let's put you in the box right now with Marcell Ozuna. Runner at third, 1 out. What are your keys? Infield looks like it's creeping in.
Yeah, well, you take a look at the infield, as Marcell should do, and know what adjustments you have to do now. Now, I mean, you want to make solid contact, but you're trying to put the ball in the outfield with a little lazy fly ball, gets you a run. You got good speed at third base, so you don't have to be cute.
In the dirt, Ozuna bounced to short back in the second. And the White Sox infield is in. 4-4, dead even here in the bottom of the third.
Hitter you want to try to get jammed, but Shields hasn't really pitched in yet.
No.
Everything's been away. You have to think the other way of your Ozuna right here. He wants you to try to pull and hit the ball on the ground.
Don't see that very often, do you?
Well, you'll try anything when you getting hit around a little bit, right? You know, it's unbelievable what you try these days.
And a bouncer to third. Frazier across the diamond, and for Ozuna, 2 for his last 31 now.
Well, you can tell in that swing, he's not comfortable, and that's not watching him every day, but that's not the swing we saw earlier when he was hitting the ball all over the place.
He's not as selective as he was. Swinging pitches out of the zone. That's not a pitch he's looking for right there. But the anxiety when you're struggling, and we've been there.
Yeah.
We've been there. It happens. And Don Mattingly, Barry Bonds pat him in the back and keep going out there, kid.
That's it.
Now Real Muto. White Sox leave a big gap over the middle for him. He pulls it wide of third base. Don't forget, if you'd like to join the Big League Impact and the fantasy football draft with Marlins players and Cliff Floyd, it's a great charity.
Yeah.
BigLeagueImpact.org is the place to go.
It's going to be awesome.
Fans can compete against Marlin players and executives, and of course Cliff Floyd. That is popped up third base side. And it's behind the dugout.
It will be here August 27th, and I think the big thing with me is just what's behind it, and Adam Wainwright, St. Louis Cardinals starting pitcher is behind this clean water initiative, and it's about saving lives and making sure that we don't have serious infections in our future generations, and I think this something that's going to be big, and every player, David Wright in New York, so big cities, big names, and a lot of people coming out to support.
And you get to, as a fan, compete against them.
Compete. I'm talking about drafting a team, sitting there on Sundays for a purpose. So I can tell my wife I have a purpose to watch football on Sunday.
I'm working.
Something behind this, babe.
Anything to justify the Sunday.
Yeah.
The gridiron.
I need 7 hours.
It's all for the kids, and that's in the center field. And the Marlins get that run across. Real Muto right by Shields, who's bent over in front of the mound. Yelich scores.
Shields was lucky here.
I mean, watch your lips like no other.
Wow, he reacted after the ball already had passed. That's how close he is.
And I've invented a ball cap liner for this exact reason right here, fellas. I have. Look at the spin stop on this ball, because when you watch Shields, to your point, he has no idea that ball's coming at him. He's making a pitch with one thing on his mind, to get a result.
Real Muto out.
You gotta watch that. Take a peek.
Yeah, Real Muto says, take a look at the videotape. It looked like that left hand may have gotten in.
I love instant replay. I do. I do. It takes a little long time, but I love it for this reason right here.
Left hand.
He's safe.
He's safe.
And that's going to be an easy one on replay.
But look where he is at the bag. He's supposed to be a little bit closer now.
Right. And the kid will learn this one.
It's behind the bag. Hand reaches in. This will be overturned, no problem.
And that's why I love it. That's why I love it.
It's, look, we've seen it in slow motion 3 times here. But you can see how an umpire in real time in a bang-bang play, it's hard to tell where does the glove clip the hand. Let's watch this in real time. That's almost from the umpire's perspective.
Yeah, Hunter Wendelstedt, veteran umpire.
Right. It's an easy play for him, right?
That's an easy play right there. And usually, and he knows it, Hunter Navarro's like, I can't make a better throw than that. He's out. And they'll talk to the young man at second base, shortstop, Tim Anderson.
I've heard umpires say they like replay a lot too, because it takes the, that feeling away from it that they've made a mistake and cost a team something.
This is where I would fix with instant replay. If the umpires already saw it on the big screen and it's obvious to them, they have a microphone right there. Just tell New York, you know what, New York? we got this one. We messed it up. We'll overturn it.
I'm with you as well.
I would take it even.
This is an extra minute and a half right now that they already know what the call is going to be, and everybody here at the stadium knows.
Yeah. Absolutely agree.
I'm with you. I think the more power you give the 4 umpires here.
And I know that they have better technology in New York, but this is obvious.
Yes.
Navarro, the problem, Navarro's not real happy because he knows he made a great throw. That should be a caught stealing.
Right.
That goes on his record.
Right. Oh, yeah. He's sitting there going, come on, Tim. Come on, youngin.
As easy of a call as it is.
There you go.
That took way too long.
He's safe.
Yeah. I mean, it took an extra 2.5 minutes.
Easy.
So a stolen base calls overturn. 11 bags now for Real Muto. Navarro, the worst part for him too is he knew it for 2.5 minutes.
Oh yeah. He's looking up like, come on guys.
That's a great point.
He's like, really?
I got to see it again.
And keep seeing it.
Dietrich tripled his last time up, and he takes outside. So the Marlins have knocked James Shields around here in the 3rd. 4 runs, a 3-run homer by Prado, and Real Muto's RBI single.
How about the job this kid's done? Navarro's like, I'm gonna get you one way or another, huh?
One way. If I don't get you on that side, I'll get you on this side.
Well, you're right about Dietrich.
Oh man. I mean, just, you know, you talking about opportunities, and we always throw it out there. Well, you know, young guys have to take advantage of opportunity. Well, Derek did, you know, and I was wondering how it was going to work itself out. But problems always seem to work themselves out. You know, whether you have an injury here or there, Guado, you get a chance, you know, to get to play and play well. You deserve to continue.
You know, Shields, it feels like he's thrown more than 50 pitches in this game.
I told you it was calling. See, the phone was ringing for
Yeah, it
him.
was.
See, I'm telling you, Rich.
It's Don Cooper. Not DB Cooper, but Don Cooper.
Don Cooper. He ain't happy right now.
No. He's calling the White Sox bullpen, which spent probably the first 3 or 4 innings last night looking into the Clevelander. Because this is their first trip here. They've never been here before. And word is filtered out, obviously, around baseball
Absolutely.
that the Clevelander is a hopping place.
I mean,
now Rick Renteria is on the horn.
yeah, Rick, like, hurry up.
Like, didn't you hear the phone? It was ringing like 10 minutes ago.
Echeverria lines it to left. Cabrera runs it down. That's the 2nd time Cabrera has run down an Echeverria line drive. Cliff Floyd, thank you for the visit. Congratulations on the bobblehead night.
Thank you.
And keep doing the great work that you do in the community.
I appreciate you. Thanks for having me, fellas. Appreciate you, big dog.
Look at that swing. Look at that finish.
Finish low.
Park as we move along to the top of the 4th inning. One of the most memorable home runs of the season occurred on May 7th, and that was in San Diego when James Shields was pitching for the Padres. And of all people, Bartolo Colon made some history. One of the oldest pitchers to ever hit a home run, as he hit it off Shields for his first ever. And some people have been trying to figure out what has gone on with Shields this season. Well, a Met website, in Mets We Trust, on actually it's a Twitter handle, they think they figured it out. The before Colon numbers and the post Colon numbers from James Shields. You see this pitch here. The first 6 starts before that home run, Shields was outstanding. It was with an ERA at least a 3.23, not much of a record. But since that, this in Mets We Trust Twitter handle wants to remind you that he's at a 7.71 ERA. Could Colon throw your confidence off that much?
Coates, left field, and gone. And the White Sox, with one swing, have tied this thing. Jason Coates. Well, how about that? And for Jason Coates, his first major league home run.
And a big one, especially after James Shields giving up 4 in the bottom half of the 3rd inning to come right back and tie this game at 5.
Wow. Both starters have given up 5 runs. And Navarro takes a fastball for a strike. Shields is due up next, and he's on deck. It's only the top of the 4th. 10 runs, 12 hits combined. 3 home runs. Stanton, Prado, and now Jason Coates. And Deoner Navarro in there now.
One thing Adam Conley's going more to is that off-speed pitch. We're used to seeing him pitch off the fastball. Has not been that aggressive with it. You look at the box score for the White Sox. Pretty balanced throughout.
Soft serve right field. All right. When last we heard from Craig, he was spending his nights on Mets websites, it sounded like, and found the interesting note on James Shields. So go ahead and put a bow on
Goofball in Mets We Trust. It's actually a Twitter handle.
Okay.
They were trying to compare that since Colon hit that home run in Shields' 7th start, that his season has gone downhill. It's not really true. If you look at the numbers, he actually had a very good July, but he was awful in June. He hasn't been good in August, and when you add them all up, since that Colon homer, including that game, he has not had very good numbers. And guys, he is owed an awful lot of money. What is it, $58 million still? He signed a 4-year, $75 million deal only last season. And the Padres are picking up a good chunk of that money as well. I think they're picking up in the neighborhood of close to $30 million, if $38 million, in fact. But that's a lot of cash for a guy who's not doing very well.
Yeah, that's you're right about that. He was one of the sexy signs by the Padres when they opened up the checkbooks in the start of the 2015 season. Just about all of those guys, whether it's Kemp or Shields, are now somewhere else, and they're still paying part of that freight. Counts 1-2. What do you see from Adam Conley tonight, Eduardo?
The fastball's not the same what we're used to. We're used to seeing him more in the low to mid 90s. Right now it's 88 to 90 miles per hour. That's another fastball, 89, but he has to still use it.
Unlock access to postseason excitement. Purchase tickets to 10 remaining home games. It gets you a priority access to postseason ticket strips. Packages start at $250. Go to marlins.com/postseason pack. Here is Eaton.
He still has to be aggressive with his fastball. I don't care if he's throwing 82 miles per hour or not. See him there, 81 mile per hour off speed against Eaton. 2 outs. Let's go. Let the kid rip. Have to be able to use that fastball, locate it well. Location is the key to success.
That looked like a get me over fastball at 87. Four hits last night, 2 walks tonight, and Eaton has scored twice. Popped up. And just over the screen. Real Muto went back for a look.
Talk about a young pitcher going into territory where he hasn't been. We're already in August. Start wondering with fatigue, and you look at all those high stress innings in the 2nd inning. No single-digit inning.
For Conley, last year, 174 innings between New Orleans and Miami.
But you said the key word, between New Orleans and Miami. Different type of hitters, different stress when you have to face big leaguer after big leaguer. This is a different beast.
3-2. My goodness, he has walked Adam Eaton 3 times. And the Marlins obviously don't want to let this get much further down the road if Conley is struggling. And here is Saladino, who's had an impressive series so far with a couple of doubles, 3 runs driven in, and he's 3 for 6 on the series. And Juan Nieves is on his way out. I think he's out there to buy time for McGowan to get loose.
And we had seen earlier Tim Wallach with Juan Nieves and Don Mattingly having that conversation in the dugout. And I know they're seeing the same thing. They're reading the velocity. They're seeing the location. This is the issue. If you don't have the fastball, your slider and off-speed pitches are also going to be flat. With no arm speed to give it depth with the off-speed pitches, you're just doing the hitters favors throwing them off-speed stuff. Easy to recognize.
Saladino now with Eaton at first. Wild card contenders in the National League. The Dodgers beat the Pirates 8-4. The Giants, and we lump the Dodgers and the Giants together since they're so tight in the West. Pitch is up. The Giants of Baltimore played tonight. The Cardinals came back and snapped the Cubs' long win streak, beat them 8-4. Randall Grichuk with a grand slam. There's your wild card standings. So Pittsburgh losing to the Dodgers. It's one of the teams chasing the Marlins, the Giants, the Cardinals. The Mets have a 1-0 lead over the Padres. The Mets are a game under 500.
And they've struggled with injuries throughout the season. Lucas Duda, Wright, Cespedes on the disabled list, Ray is on the disabled list. You just have a lot of issues with that team. Cabrera also out. There's no way they can compete with that roster right now. Harvey.
And of course, the Marlins are hopeful then the timetable for Justin Bour speeds up a bit. Bour still battling the leg injuries. That and Wei-Yin Chen, hoping to get him back early September. Check swing. He went.
Got him on the fastball.
And he knew it. But the White Sox tie it up. Entertaining game. It's 5-5. T-Mobile brings you greater coverage of baseball. Alex Rodriguez drops the curtain on his Yankee career. Charlie Blackmon, 3 solo homers. Phillies still won the ball game. About Ryan Howard, 14th career slam. Ryan Schimpf of the Padres had a career-high 6 runs driven, grand slam, and another homer. Here is Conley. Hitting in the 4th, Shields fastball for a strike. Now, Eduardo Perez, you were up there yesterday, right, for the whole
Yes.
A-Rod Palooza?
Yes, I was. It was eerie. It was different. It was different. It all started off with a celebration at the beginning, the recognition, and you know, his mom came out, his sister, his brother, his 2 beautiful daughters, and then it stormed during the celebration. It was cut short. Big old lightning bolt hit, and it rained as hard as can be for like 15 minutes and stopped, and the game started 30 minutes later. And the fans were very supportive. I was very impressed with the New York Yankee fans being able to forgive and not forget, because he did not want them to forget.
How about Adam Conley, ladies and gentlemen? He's thinking 2 around first.
No, stay at first.
And the throw across the diamond brings Conley back to first. His 2nd hit of the night. He's 2 for 2. All right. It was, I mean, just watching it and hearing the reaction of the fans. Admittedly, from Alex, there's plenty of controversy in his career. This an opposite field double.
This is a rocket, a 96-mile-per-hour pitch that he barreled. And I spoke to Brian McCann, I spoke to Brett Gardner, and they're like, if there's not a team that picks him up, there's a team that should pick him up that's in contention, because they were saying that he has a lot still to offer. And you know, his teammates are all backing him up on it, and they want him to continue to play, but they know it's a personal decision on his side.
Now, do you think he was not playing because he wasn't hitting, or was he not hitting because he wasn't playing?
I think a little bit of both at the beginning. He struggled earlier on in the season, and then Joe Girardi and the organization decided we're going to go young. We don't believe we can win. We're going to try to get our organization. We're going to try to find out who can play and not at this level. And you saw 2 moves being made today, and those 2 kids, Austin and Aaron Judge, went back-to-back in the 1st inning, home runs, first time ever, right?
First time rookies have ever gone back-to-back
In their first AB.
In their first AB in the major leagues.
But at the end of the day, just watching him in Boston, because I was at Boston the day before and then in New York, I believe he can still play if given the opportunity to play, not sporadically, but to play in a continuous way.
Does it have to be an American League team that has a designated hitter?
No, I don't believe so. I believe he can still play first, and if a team has a lead by the 6th inning, you bring in a defensive player.
Into right. Gordon has a hit. And the Marlins pick up where they left off in the 3rd. Runners first and second. Here's Prado.
One more thing about Alex Rodriguez that a lot of people don't know, and they have already judged him for what he's been guilty of, and he's asked for forgiveness to his fans, and he's continued, and he said he's sorry. I don't think fans are mad at him for doing the PEDs. I think they're mad at him for lying, and I think that's where forgiveness is really difficult. When people lie, I think that's where they have a tough time forgiving him for what he had done.
White Sox bullpen has action in it.
It's from Matt Albers.
Matt Albers. Craig, you have more?
Well, it was a topic around the clubhouse, as you might expect, and I will tell you this. I talked to Chris Johnson, and he was quite honest and blunt, saying, hey, if Alex Rodriguez could help us win even one game, I think everybody in this clubhouse would welcome a guy like that. Now, you don't know. There was that John Heyman story that there might be some interest. The Marlins have not commented on that. Don Mattingly said today, always liked him. I think he can help somebody. I'm not sure if he fits as well in the National League. But that's not to say he couldn't help somebody. So I don't know if there's anything brewing there or not, but it sounded like from what Johnson said, if he was speaking for the clubhouse, you never know. Could he be a September addition to a National League or American League team? Would you pick him up earlier? Does he still want to play? Eduardo, his press conference left that in doubt because he said, I don't know how you could top this. He didn't say for sure, though, that he would never not wear a jersey again, but it didn't sound like it. Agree?
I agree completely. He never said I'm retiring. And after the game yesterday, I was at the third base area, right where you've been earlier. And when he took the field at third base, he honestly and he genuinely believes that he can still play a position on the field.
Prado to center, a dive, and it kicks away from Eaton. Conley to third, he'll hold there.
That's good base running by D. Gordon at second base. I mean, a lot of young players, this situation, are thinking, okay, I'm going to go to third easily because he has the ball in front of him. But watch what Conley does here. He has to wait perfectly, plays it perfectly. The only thing I would do is just turn my body around facing center field. And then once that ball drops, he takes off. D. Gordon, watching the runner ahead of him, understands it, stops right there at second, and you keep the line moving. One thing the Marlins had done earlier was make a lot of base running mistakes. James Shields' night cut short again.
So the hook comes for Shields here in the 4th. Matt Albers enters, a West Kendall Toyota call to the bullpen. White Sox, South Florida Honda dealers, get you ready for Marlins Live, and I'll sit down with Ichiro. And then Chris Sale and Tom Kohler go mano y mano. Craig Minervini, Jeff Conine in the saddle for Marlins Live. Tom Kohler has been Miami's best pitcher in the second half of this season.
I know bases are loaded and all, but I need to know a little bit about that conversation with Ichiro. How awesome was that? You know him for so many years.
Yelich swings and misses. It was fun for a lot of reasons. It was the day after he hit his 3,000, so there was a lot to talk about. Not only his career, his start. Learned a few things that I had not known, and I've interviewed Ichiro a lot of times, starting in Seattle in 2001. Learned about his swing and how it started. It's such a unique swing. He said his father helped him with it, and it was kind of patterned after a golf swing.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
At least that was the genesis.
Well, it makes sense if you look at his swing, and you know. I'm gonna watch that.
Learned as well, he had a guardian angel, so to speak, in the minor leagues in Japan. The hitting coach, minor league team, he was there for 2 years, up and down minor leagues in the Japanese league. The manager on the big team wanted him to change his swing and told the coaching staff down in the minor leagues, hey, you change this guy's swing.
Wow.
And that coach said no. Would not change Ichiro's swing. And Ichiro very thankful. Very thankful. And the manager that did not like Ichiro pulled him into his office and said, hey, are you gonna do it your way, or are you gonna change your swing for me? Navarro's out to the mound, and Ichiro said, no, I'm not going to change. That manager was fired after 2 years. Ichiro spent the first 2 years going up and down. Once that manager was fired and a new manager came in, they brought him up and said, you swing the way you want to swing. That was, I had not heard that story before with Ichiro either. Here's a 1-2. And Albers misses in to Yelich. So that's tomorrow. South Florida Honda dealers on Marlins Live. Bases loaded here in a wild ball game in Miami. Christian Yelich, Matt Albers. Yelich late on that fastball. And the count stays 2-2. Neither starter able to get consistent outs. James Shields is gone. Adam Conley is standing on third base. He's 2 for 2.
Christian Yelich last time hit a double to left center field. Pitches were away. Albers has gone in.
And he got him. Foul tip held by Navarro. And so Albers has 1 out. And here comes Stanton. A line drive home run in the second, and a laser up the middle that was stopped by Tyler Saladino.
Surprised Giancarlo this time isn't using the face guard. Usually does not use it against left-handed pitching, but does against righties.
(1-0). Albers misses away.
Let's see what Albers does here. Giancarlo Stanton usually lately has been getting 2-0 sliders down and away, and he's been chasing them. Bases are loaded this time. Albers, no room for error.
2-0. And it's 2-1. Stanton did not have the mask on earlier in his at-bats against James Shields. Two-one coming. It's in. Same action.
Different location. Good recognition. Once you see it 2-0, put that one in your back of your mind. 3-1, the 2-0 pitch has to come again. He just has to be able to locate.
Into center. That's a hit. Conley scores. Gordon around third. He will score as well. And a bullet to center from Stanton. 7-5 Miami.
Decides to go away with Stanton, allowing him to get his hands extended, missing out over the plate. Giancarlo makes him pay, and D. Gordon with his speed and a little bobble from Adam Eaton, no chance to get him.
Now Ozuna. Out to shorts. Anderson, Saladino. There's the double play, but Miami reclaims the lead with 2 here in the 4th, and it's 7-5. Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica, by Subaru of Pembroke Pines, and by Lexus of Pembroke Pines. Price, service, selection. You're gonna love us. Photos from tonight's game. Stanton home run and a 2-run single. A Martin Prado 3-run homer. And the Fish not only reclaim the lead, but are going to go to their bullpen. Adam Conley is out. Dustin McGowan is in. And it shows you how short Don Mattingly's bench is that he let Adam Conley hit.
And I like the move.
Rather than pitch hit that early in a ball game. It's just the 5th inning.
You like the move. You don't want to waste a pinch hitter so early in the game, but you also recognize that Adam was struggling on the mound. Helped himself out, scored 2 runs.
Bouncer to first. Dietrich down to get it, and he gets to the bag. Well, Dustin McGowan has become a very valuable piece in the Marlins pen, and you can tell by the workload that he's had. 62 pitches on Monday.
There it is right there.
Friday 19 pitches. Now Abreu. And this is going to be one of those games for Miami. You're going to see 4, 5, 6 arms out of the bullpen. You would expect.
Yeah, you would expect, and you expect them to start playing matchups around the 7th inning. Oh my, that broke his bat. That was
that hit right almost like on the yellow handle.
Well, you see it has that tennis racket grip. That's why the bat head did not go flying out.
Right on the label.
See the grip? Use those probably on your tennis racket.
That looks more like golf grip. Check with the Monica Puig.
I tell you, the island of Puerto Rico right now is partying like you would not believe.
I'm surprised you don't have some sort of periscope or video hookup.
Oh, I do. It's blown up big time. Just for those of you that just joined, I've been excited all night. Well, since Monica won gold representing Puerto Rico
in women's singles, which is
women's singles tennis.
It's not only great for Puerto Rico, but what a big step forward for her.
Huge. Huge on the map. 22 years old. Guaranteed she goes to Puerto Rico and they will have an unbelievable parade for her.
Through the streets of San Juan.
All the way. As soon as she lands, the island will come to a standstill. They will be at the airport waiting for her, just like the fans waited for Tito Trinidad when he won every match, when he would win in boxing and those big boxing matches. This is major news in that island.
Abreu fouls that one back.
You know what I need right now?
A yellow grip for your microphone.
I need you to throw a cold hard fact for me. Wouldn't it be good right after a Puig victory? Talk about it.
A Coors Light cold hard fact.
Yeah, I think we have one coming up, don't we?
See what I can do.
Really?
The crack staff scrambling right now.
You think so? You think I put him in a spot right now?
At your beck and call, apparently. Into center.
I know they wouldn't let me down.
Ozuna is tracking it, and that is the second out. So McGowan has 2 outs.
What you got for me, Rich?
Here it is. Scores like cold hard fact. It probably involves. Well, let's see. Angels, Royals are the only 2 teams never to play at Marlins Park. Royals are here near the end of August. Angels have not been here. That's amazing that this ballpark opened in 2012 and
already 28 teams have played here, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Now Frazier.
Now the Angels played in 2012 at the old park.
Well, this park opened in 2012.
In 2011.
Yes.
2011.
Texas has been here. Seattle's been here. Frazier swings and misses. It's 2-1. Everybody in the East has been here. In the air and foul. It sounds like outside it's raining substantially, and it is. That is your live Eduardo Perez Doppler radar shot.
Jim Cantori, Weather Channel. That's what I'm all about.
Two. Prado across the diamond in time. And that's just what the Marlins needed. And it's Dustin McGowan to come in and calm things down. Is the presenting sponsor of Miami Marlins baseball. The weather outside is, you could say frightful, but it's not really that time of year, but it's nasty. JT Realmuto, Matt Albers meet. Realmuto fouls it off. Derek Dietrich and Danny Echeverria coming up as well. GMC big matchup against righties. Realmuto 334. And he lined one up the middle in the third for an RBI hit. Against right-hander James Shields. Shoots that one to the gap right center field. Cutting it off is Eaton. Realmuto with his speed on his way to second. And he just gets in with a slide. Eaton is having a terrific year throwing the ball. 16 assists. That's tops in Major League Baseball.
Well, we talked earlier about the Marlins being aggressive on the bases. This is what I mean. No outs. JT Realmuto makes his mind up. I'm going for it. Adam Eaton not rushing to throw it. Takes an extra step. And right out of the gate, he's thinking too. He's reading the bounce, sees it. He's challenging Adam Eaton in his good arm to throw him out at second base.
Dietrich takes a strike. And it's 0-1. Derek Dietrich has tripled and walked. One of the things that Dietrich really had going for him the first month and a half or 2 months of games in the absence of Gordon was a great on-base percentage, and it's still pretty healthy. His on-base right around 370.
He was at 400.
Yes. And you can see him starting to get back into that selective mode. He's starting to drive the ball the other way. Talked to both Frank Menachino and Barry Bonds about hitting. One of the first things out of their mouth is patience, discipline, take your walks, and approach.
And take your hit by pitches.
Yeah,
which he does very well.
He gets hit a lot. So much so. Let's watch this.
Puts that foot down and he refuses to get it out of the way. See a lot of guys jump out of there. He's not afraid at all of that baseball. And he'll wear it. Did it at Georgia Tech and has continued to do it in his professional career.
22 times. Look at the dugout right now. Did they take the ball? Did the ball come out of play? Oh. He now has the all-time Marlin record there. And there it is. Wow, and just 1,054 plate appearances. 52 times he's been hit. And the bench took great glee in asking for the ball.
You look at all the other four, they're all right-handed hitters. But Darren, the lefty, you don't see a lot of left-handed hitters get hit.
I would say that he stands alone, but right now he's having trouble doing that.
Anthony Rizzo up there.
The authenticator is actually authenticating the ball.
Would they authenticate the leg also?
Yes. Yes. When Dietrich comes back to the dugout, they're going to have to put one of those holograms on the bruise.
Temporary hologram?
Yeah.
Until it goes away.
Authentic Major League bruise.
Tattoo it right.
Now, look, we can joke about it, but it is painful. How about Echeverria tonight? Twice he's lined in the left center gap. And off the bat, it's looked like extra bases. And both times, Melky Cabrera's raced in to snare it at the last second.
You're right, they have, but I love when Henke starts going the other way. They're getting him to pull, and that's falling right into the White Sox game. When Adenis is going well, he's driving the ball to right field, hitting the ball on the ground the other way. Starts thinking pull, that's when he starts getting into a little trouble. But you're right, those were two nice shots that he had to left field.
Two balls, two strikes. If you're wondering where James Shields is, Matt Alberts relieved him in the fourth. On the ground, Frazier starts one. Saladino's turn, a double play. And the White Sox turn two.
Ball hit dirt. He attacks. It's the only way they were going to get a Daney if he attacked right there. Todd Frazier getting a quick feed to Saladino. Toss over to first base. He looked like he was out.
Yeah, Marlins did look at it. And because, remember, when the Marlins let Conley hit, here is McGowan. He will take the at-bat here in the fifth. I don't know that Dustin McGowan has a walk-up song.
He was smiling all the way up there. His career 100.
Bounces one out towards shorts. Anderson throws him out. Marlins leave a runner at third base at 7-5. 6th. Let's check in with Craig Minervini. Craig?
Thank you very much, Rich. We're at the season ticket renewal zone here at Section 15 of the park. Through September 11th, you can come here and renew your season tickets. Easy to find and a prize at stake. You can spin this wheel and possibly win an autographed bat. Betty Pedraza, season ticket holder, husband Julio. Have you renewed for 17?
We certainly did. We just did it with Caitlin a little while ago.
Absolutely. What are you looking forward to this season and next?
Well, for this season, I hope we make it to the playoffs. Next year, I want the opportunity to the All-Star game and the playoffs again.
Right, spin the wheel, and we'll tell you, here we go. She can win and to get in the raffle for an autographed bat if she can get the Let's Go Fish one. You might get a grand slam. You could drive in some runs. That's the one you need. Let's Go Fish. Well, you hit a home run. Nothing bad with that. Hey, that's a good thing to do. You can hit a home run if you renew your season tickets, guys. Right here at Section 15. And you get to spin the wheel.
What does she get with the home run?
She did make the showcase for the home run. She gets our thanks for being on Fox Florida. And a gift selection of Turtle Wax. Cleans, polishes, protects, and one application has the hard finish.
Thank you so much. I look forward to it.
Thank you for joining us. Back to you, Rich.
I thought maybe some tourister luggage would make
How do you not get anything for a home run?
Anderson bounces it into left field. That's a base hit for the White Sox shortstop, who was hit in 7 straight now. He's got a couple hits tonight. If you're just joining us, what a wild ride it was for Adam Conley and for James Shields. Neither had a long start. Conley went 4 innings, 5 runs, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts. Shields 3 innings, 10 hits, 7 runs. Jason Coates homered in the 4th. Miami was down early in this one, 4-0. But a solo shot by Giancarlo Stanton, a 3-run homer by Martin Prado, and an RBI single by JT Realmuto. Marlins came roaring back and took a 5-4 lead. But the lead lasted about 3 minutes because as soon as Jason Coates came up to lead off the inning, it was tied again.
Yeah, again, another off-speed pitch, this time down and in on Coates. Was able to hammer it out of there for his first career home run in the big leagues.
Dustin McGowan has relieved Adam Conley. This is his 2nd inning in relief. Matt Albers has been in for the White Sox for Shields. The 7 runs for the Marlins significant, along with the 2 home runs, because the top of the telecast we talked about the last 3 games for the Fish. Not much of anything offensively. Anderson runs, Coates swings, and Chavarria to first in time. Robin Ventura putting the game in motion. We haven't talked much Robin Ventura yet in this series.
Watch this play with Tim Anderson. One thing that he has to realize, being a shortstop, is shortstops that have been around the game a long time. Watch when Adaney catches a ball. He could easily just go to second and get him right there, rounding second. Advanced scouts behind home plate will write that down. And any time in another series, wherever the White Sox go after the Marlins, they'll have that written down, and that will be discussed in the meetings.
Pop up. This will be a tough play. Etches out. Yelich in. Lands between them. And the White Sox end up with runners at the corners on a flare from Navarro.
Talk about that 8-hole hitter again. Getting on base for the White Sox. Actually bailing out on that. No chance. Ball's right in no man's land.
And the White Sox are going to hit for Albers. Hinchappenny presents Carlos Sanchez. Juan Nieves on his way out to talk with McGowan. Miami's bullpen is in action. Sanchez is a switch hitting infielder. who's been struggling right now. He's 4 for his last 36. He can play shortstop, second base, third base. This is his 4th stint up with the big club.
None more for his glove. Sanchez brought in early right now in this game, in the top of the 6th inning with runners at the corners. And be aware, this is a situation, it's a good bunter. So Martin Prado has to be playing in, and Derek Dietrich has to be aware that the bunt could be in order right here.
Yeah, that 1st and 3rd with 1 out bunt situation.
Even though they're down 2, Robin Ventura will try to get closer as close as he can.
Not bunting, takes out, and it's 1-0. Ventura had success his very first year as a manager. This is year 5 for him. McGowan misses away, and it's 3-0. It's a guy that left his mark in the big leagues and in college baseball. Had that great run at Oklahoma State. Hauser Award, Golden Spikes Award, 58-game hit streak. 3-0's right down the pipe. Olympic gold medal. 1988. Sanchez fires at that 3-1 pitch.
Well located pitch, 3-1. It was going to be a strike. You don't want to go down and in. A guy that doesn't have a lot of power.
Navarro's the runner at first. Anderson at third. And right in on the hands. Good pitch from McGowan.
Navarro, not a lot of speed at first base. Just getting the signs. Joe McEwing, third base coach.
He lost him. Bags are loaded. And now here is Eaton, who has been impossible to pitch to for everybody wearing a Marlins uniform. He was 4 for 5 with 4 hits last night. He's had 3 at-bats, and he's walked 3 times tonight.
That's a career high.
And he's not easy to double up either. A White Sox at every base. Eating a little tapper. McGowan to the plate. Ooh, it's close. He's out initially. And I say that because it was so close, it seemed like Anderson was on the plate when Real Muto held the ball. And we'll get our first look here.
I think this is one that the White Sox most likely will contest.
Left hand on the plate. Oh, he's way safe.
He's way safe.
And this is going to be a run.
So this is what I was talking about earlier. This play will be put on the scoreboard for them to see and for the umpires to see, but at the same time, umpires now will call New York. This angle right there in the scoreboard, the umpires are looking up and they see it immediately, so they already know.
All the players, all the umpires,
everyone knows.
Everybody in the ballpark knows before New York knows.
Exactly. Put a timer up.
And I don't think New York's going to take very long with this one.
That's where they have to communicate and say, we know about this one.
So it's overturned, and the White Sox are a run closer at 7-6.
That's what speed does right there. Anderson, good jump at third base.
Don Mattingly out to the mound, and he's going to go to the bullpen. So Dustin McGowan gets an out, and that's it here in the 6th. And back and forth they go. Outs tough to come by on both ends. West Kendall called to the bullpen. Sunday is sponsored by Audi, and it continues with a Western Conference clash. Clint Dempsey and the Sounders of Seattle against Real Salt Lake. 7 o'clock FS1, and you can watch it live on Fox Sports Go. With Cliff Floyd looking on his bobblehead night. Marlins Park. That's right. I mean, if this thing does get hairy.
Oh, we're calling Cliffy right back.
Absolutely. Get it back in. Nick Whitgren against a guy that's done some damage in these 2 games of the series. Tyler Saladino. Bounce to short. Echeverria. Gordon's turn. Got the double play. And Whitgren with 1 pitch holds on to a 1-run lead. Excellent work. 7-6 Miami. Whitgren's got a Gatorade in one hand, a baseball in the other. One pitch. Echeverria, Gordon to Dietrich. And those are big outs for Miami, because every time the Marlins have done something significant, the White Sox have answered. That's a tough slide. Did you see that slide on Gordon? Took a little bit of a shot there at second base on this turn. It's eaten, and it's legal. Although, you know what? That's not legal.
I don't think that's legal right there.
That's not legal.
No, that was not legal.
I didn't see the pop-up end of it, but when you pop up and hit a guy above the knees, that's an illegal slide. That would have been an automatic double play. And thankfully, Gordon's okay.
Thankfully, the dugout's okay, also because the railing got in the way. Giancarlo Stanton, that was going almost right at him.
And Jennings, nice ERA. He's had a really nice season. Former Marlin.
Talk about picking your spots, Robin Ventura. This is the only lefty they have in the pen. No. It's scary.
That's his guy, too. That's D. Gordon. 0-2. Jennings appeared last night. You saw by those numbers, he's having a nice season. So Prado is in between the lefties. And of course, the flip side here is that Prado has the best average in baseball against lefties. Gordon strikes out. Couple hits for D, but a 2 for 4 now. And here's Prado. Three-run homer, singled in the 4th, and he's popped out. Marlins will see a lefty tomorrow, Chris Sale. And a really good one.
I was about to say, this is not an easy lefty at all, but a great matchup tomorrow.
It's the patented Prado grunt. Every time a ball comes on his radar in. There are the splits with Prado this year. Seven home runs. Prado's driven in 53 out of the 2-hole. Jennings is, it's not a quick pitch, but man, he's got a really quick motion. Once he starts towards the plate, it all happens so fast. Struck him out. Prado looks in puzzlement. to Scott Barry. Geico brings you a baseball moment. How about Francisco Mejia? 49-game hit streak in the minor leagues in Single A. The Lynchburg Hillcats.
That's impressive. I don't care what league you're in. 49.
Now, he had 2 hits yesterday. He's playing tonight, and he's 0 for 4 right now. So we'll keep you updated on that. 49 games in the minor leagues. Back to a lefty-lefty matchup. And Yelich takes in.
Well, I would think this would be the last hitter for Jennings. If Yelich gets on, Chris Beck is warming up in the bullpen for the White Sox.
Did you know that Francisco Mejia is a catcher and a switch hitting catcher?
Wow. That can rake.
Yeah.
Game hitting streak.
Yelich into right field. Christian Yelich with a 2-hit night tonight. Nice bounce back from last night. And I'm not sure that Jennings is going to get to face Giancarlo Stanton. I guess it's the other way around. Stanton gets to face Jennings.
Yeah, he should be done.
Robin Ventura on his way out. West Kendall Toyota. Call to the bullpen. Miami up a run, 7-6. On the go on DirecTV and AT&T. Just download the all-new Fox Sports Go app. Take Fox Sports Florida and Marlins baseball with you wherever you go. Stanton now. Giancarlo tonight. Solo homer. Laser beam ground ball for an out, and a 2-run single also hit on the nose right back into center field. So he's had some really good at bats tonight. Spent most of batting practice driving the ball to right field and right center. Yelich at first with 2 outs. Chris Beck is the new pitcher for the White Sox. Called up from Charlotte. That's AAA for the White Sox prior to last night's game. part of the reduction in stolen bases for Yelich the fact that he's hitting in front of this guy?
Yes. Has a lot to do with it. You don't want to just give first base open, but with 2 strikes, different story. Especially now. Looks like Giancarlo will get something down and away. Or up and up. One pitch that got away.
Yelich swiped 16 bases last year. Fastball up, and it's 2-2. Chris Beck. That caught a good piece of DeAndre Navarro. Ooh, I know it hit the shin guard, but that still hurts a lot.
Yeah, that's coming in pretty hot.
Yelich runs on a 2-2 pitch. Stanton hammers it center field. Eaton's got room, and he makes the catch. Another good swing by Stanton. Marlins lead that runner to the 7th, 7-6.
Roll star on a stage, boom on the kicks, there like a 12 gauge against the machine. I rage, heritage full of sage. I read you like a book, but you can't turn my page. I'm just that dude who's on pursuit undercover. I'm so rude, I'm cruel and protrude. I don't.
He told us he was going out to the Clevelander, didn't he?
He did. Is he there?
Cliff is out there. We just saw him.
I was writing some stuff down there. I was writing Miguel Flores taking over at first base for Derek Dietrich.
Fastball misses away.
Miguel Rojas. Flores. Why would I say Flores? Come on. Sorry, Miguel.
Nick Wickering continues after throwing that one pitch, getting the double play. Melky Cabrera, Jose Abreu, and Todd Frazier. Little tapper. Whitgren approaches, fires, and Rojas is there. Now, it's great to have Rojas' defense in there. He is a wizard wherever he plays. He's very good at first base. And Perry Hill has said he is the Marlins' best defensive first baseman. The gamble, though, is that you take Derek Dietrich's bat out, and Dietrich's had a nice night offensively. It's a one-run game in the top of the 7th. But anytime a manager makes a move, there are pluses, there are minuses, and you weigh both sides. Abreu. Echeverria on the first in time. If they keep getting this from Nick Whitgren, Rojas will have a busy time over there at first base.
Well, you see the box score of the White Sox. A lot of the damage was done early in the game. But that being said, let's not forget Derek Dietrich also got hit pretty hard in the leg, and you don't know. You saw him hobbling a little bit.
See, that's a good call.
So you want to get that range out there. Whitgren so far has given up 3 ground balls and has already created 4 outs out of it with that double play. This is one guy that's a fly ball hitter. You want him to keep the ball down here. See if he hits another one down on the ground. Oh, he was going for it there.
And be aware, if you're down close to the field, Craig, you might want to buckle up if you're still down there, because Frazier's had the bat fly out of his hand on 3 occasions already in this series. And he's got some serious distance on a couple of those tosses. One, two. Pitches out. We were talking about Francisco Mejia, the minor leaguer with the 49-game hit streak. Actually, in the course of that streak, he had a hit in the Futures game, and he had a hit in the Midwest League All-Star game. But they did not count towards the streak. He's 0 for 5, I believe, now.
So he did get another opportunity.
And that game's in extra innings.
Oh, the stars are aligned. Drama time.
They tied it up in the 9th. 0 for 4, excuse me. And so it's extra innings now. Frazier rolls it into center field. The longest, we were talking about Robin Ventura, who I believe it's the longest in NCAA history, 58 straight games. Mejia still has a ways to go. He's 20 shy of the all-time record of 69 games set in 1919. Joe DiMaggio, of course, we all know about the streak for the Yankee Clipper, but before that he was a San Francisco, I believe they were the Seals
in the
Pacific Coast League, and he had a 61-game streak in 1933.
Wow.
There's great stories during that streak of his parents in San Francisco. He's a Bay Area native, of them getting Western Union grams, just updating his at-bats and what he did that night.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, back then the cell service wasn't too good.
Not a lot of coverage?
No, not in San Francisco. A lot of hills.
Can you hear me now? No?
Anderson has a couple hits.
Martin Prado guarding the line at third base. Runner at first.
Center field. Ozuna has it. And Nick Wickren. 5 very important outs. Fox Sports Florida, Southwest Airlines are giving you a chance to win an all-inclusive stay in Nassau on Labor Day weekend. Eduardo, pay attention. I'm going to quiz you on this. Here's the tweet. Hashtag Southwest Summer Days Sweeps. And then hashtag sponsored to @Fox Sports Florida for your chance to win.
Hashtag summer.
Okay, don't read it.
Southwest Summer Days Sweeps.
Right, and then what?
And then I'm done.
No.
No?
And then hashtag sponsored.
Hashtag sponsored.
So there's 2 hashtags. Southwest Summer Days Sweeps.
And do I win?
And then hashtag sponsored. But then you got to go to @Fox Sports FL. @Fox Sports FL. And then you could be in the Bahamas.
So I give you all that information. I'm in the Bahamas.
Well, you've got to, do you remember the hashtags?
No.
That's what I've been saying for like 2 weeks.
I know.
You got to have a DVR and you got to back it up and then
You
run.
have to.
Marcell Ozuna.
You know, a lot of people that follow me on Twitter, they'll hook me up. They'll do it and then just put Perez Ed on it. We're good to go, guys. Give me some love.
Ozuna's bounced to the left side 3 times. One of those a double play. He's 0 for 3. Ozuna left field. That one's hit deep. And Cabrera makes the catch on the track. Boy, as Ozuna tries to snap out of this funk, he finally got a hold of one, but not deep enough to leave the yard.
His legs committed early, his hands was able to throw it. But a little too high. The trajectory just a little too short.
Now, as a hitting coach, which you were at the major league level, what do you take from that at bat that Ozuna can build on?
Well, you know, right now he's working so hard. The less you can tell him, the more positive stuff that he hears is what he needs right now. Instead of saying, well, you committed a little too early, you didn't use your legs enough. You know what? You threw your hands nicely at that ball. You have to want him to get back in that batter's box. This is more a mental grind right now for him than anything else.
Well, I would think as he works with Barry Bonds and Frank Menechino, the mental grind is this. Ozuna's season has been built on patience and discipline. And when you are in a 2 for 32, wherever the numbers are now, I think it's 2 for 34, your patience is thin and your discipline is wobbly.
It is, but you know, we saw a lot of hitters go through this. Last year, and McCutchen went through it early in the season. This year, Giancarlo Stanton went through it. Now, it's Marcell Ozuna going through it. And you just have to be patient. This is the game of baseball. This is what it does to you. There are some magical seasons that nothing happens, that you don't struggle throughout the season. You're able to nip it in the butt right away. I would have already showered with my uniform on right after a game a couple days ago. Just wash it all off, baby. Let's start anew. But that was me. I did that a lot too, by the way.
Realmuto has doubled as an RBI single. You see the Marlins box. Prado homer, a Stanton homer. Yelich has snapped out. D. Gordon is clicking. He's 2 for 4. Can we throw that box back up one more time, that Marlins in-game box? Here's the problem with that. See at the bottom it says McGowan 0 for 1. We've got to figure out a way how to add Adam Conley, who's 2 for 2.
2 runs scored.
Right. But it's real time, so it's tracking the lineup right now.
Just like last at-bat, continues to battle in this at-bat. Very good for JT.
And it's sad to say that the hit streak is over for Francisco Mejia. They lost 7-5 in the 10th, and he went 0 for 4. Pitch is in.
Nothing to be ashamed of, though. 49 games.
Woo. He started in low A and went up to high A in the middle of the streak. (3-2). Out towards shorts. Anderson to first. In time to get Realmuto. And that brings up Miguel Rojas, his first at bat. So Rojas now occupies the 7 spot. He came in defensively for Dietrich. Whether the hit by pitch accelerated Don Mattingly making that defensive change or not, we don't know. It's one of the great lessons taught to me by the Hall of Fame manager Dick Williams, who was a color commentator when I was in the minor leagues. He used to come on and do games in Las Vegas. I asked him one time, do you manage games that you watch on TV? And he looked at me and he let out an expletive. He said, bleep no. Because he says you just don't know what's going on in the clubhouse. You don't know what's going on in the dugout. It's a high pop, and it's going to land foul. And his point was, it's fun to manage along at home or in the broadcast booth like we do. But only a manager knows exactly what's going on. Only a manager knows who's hurt, who's not hurt, who's sick, who's not sick. Managers sometimes will play guys and give them at bats to try to get them going because they know they need them rather than just sit them on the bench or pinch hit for them. You give guys opportunities to succeed. He said there are so many different things that even a manager like Dick Williams doesn't know, that he wouldn't even manage at home when he watched games. On to first in time, and Rojas is out. 7-6. Headed to the 8th. ...2017 All-Star Game. In July of 2017, Major League Baseball's All-Star Game is coming to Miami. Not only the All-Star Game, but the home run hitting contest, celebrity softball contest, and all the cool Fan Fest and Major League Baseball All-Star activities in and around Marlins Park and Miami. Sign up to receive ticketing, updates, breaking news, and info about the All-Star Game. Well, it looked like early that nobody could get anybody out in this ball game. The starters were both gone pretty quickly. James Shields, 3 innings, 7 runs. Adam Conley, 4 innings, 5 runs. The bullpens very slowly have been able to control things.
And a fine job by Don Mattingly and Juan Nieves recognizing what they saw with Adam Conley early on. And they allowed him to hit, saving the bench, already short as it is, with 4 offensive bats, position players. Going straight to Dustin McGowan, which shut the door down.
Nick Wickren was terrific, getting the double play ball in the 6th, which was enormous. And then he got 3 outs in the 7th. Jason Coates lines one over Echeverria. A leadoff hit against Bearclaw here in the 8th.
2 hard hit balls by TCU alum. Great extension by Etche. Watch that first step, just going right after it, just missing it.
So here is Navarro, and whatever it is about the 8th spot with the catchers in this series, but that has been a real spot of trouble for Marlin pitchers. Last night, Omar Narvaez was 1 for 1 with 3 walks. One of those was intentional, but the other 2 weren't. And now Deoner Navarro steps in, and he's 2 for 3 with an RBI single. Connolly is in, but it gets to the screen, and there's no need to bunt now. Coates is at second.
He squared up early. Missing by a lot. That velocity, very difficult for JT to get that. He scored a wild pitch.
Justin Morneau is on deck. Would he still be bunting?
No, swing away. You're already in scoring position. You're on the road. You're not looking for the tie. You're looking for the go-ahead.
Plus, it's now 3-0. And there's Morneau.
I wonder if Justin Morneau, if he walks here, would be the one hitting. Probably bring in JB Shuck. See what they do. Well, Morneau will be the guy.
Well, Bearclaw's given up a hit, a wild pitch, and a walk. Morneau last night pinch hit, and he was handled easily by Mike Dunn. But this is Bearclaw in the 8th.
Interesting move right here by Robin Ventura, going with Morneau and not Shuck. Reason being, Shuck a little bit more difficult to double up, but also a better bunter. Morneau's not bunting here. Bearclaw has to get ahead and work down.
Slider for a strike. Morneau, a long and impressive resume. 35 years old. Was a Rocky last year for just 49 games. Drives it to right, hits it well. Stanton back. It's over his head and off the wall. Around third, headed home is Coates. Navarro pulls in at third. And I think Robin Ventura is pretty happy at his selection now.
Yeah, very happy. And Cal Bearclaw repeated the same pitch he threw. Slider back to back. Having trouble throwing the fastball for a strike. Justin Morneau commits to the slider, and watch the top hand. Reaching out with extension, releasing. Now this game, a brand new game with runners at second and third infield having to play in with the Marlins.
7-7, and here is Eaton. And Bearclaw has yet to get an out here in the 8th. To right, hit well. Stanton there, makes the catch. That's Navarro at third, and he's going to hold. Great throw by Stanton. Deoner Navarro, the White Sox catcher, the runner at third base.
Ball's right there. The momentum Giancarlo had going towards the plate. Nice job by Navarro inducing the throw. No chance. Smart.
So Eaton hit it hard. Stanton with a good throw, and now you've got Saladino up, and the infield still in. Although Echeverria will back up at short.
Well, he should, with the speed of Navarro at third base.
Or the lack thereof. Breaking balls in to Saladino. This is where the Marlins are banking on Bearclaw and that strikeout rate. Tops among National League relievers in strikeouts per 9 innings.
And it's because of that pitch. He has to be able to throw it for a strike. struggling to throw the fastball over for a strike, has depended on that slider. Tonight, look at the numbers. Strikeouts per 9 innings at the top.
Ball and a strike in a tie game in the 8th. And Real Muto's out to chat with Bear Claw. This has been a runaway train from the very start for both offenses, and a tough night for Juan Nieves and Don Cooper, the White Sox pitching coach. Neither starter was effective. Now the bullpens have both been touched up.
You'd think the wind was blowing out. By the score and the hits, have been given up 23 total on the night.
2-1 coming. Saladino does not offer at the slider. That's the swing and miss pitch. And it was a pretty good pitch on Fox Tracks. Had the plate at the knees. 3-1 coming. Throws it again, and it's popped up. Shallow right center. Gordon's out, and he makes the catch. That's a big pitch on 3-1.
Boy, he went with the pitch that he knows he can control best. The slider. 3-1. Saladino bit off balance, swinging off his heels. Wasn't able to square it up.
Melky Cabrera now. Strike one. 0-1. Just out. Cabrera, who just turned 32, having a very solid season. That one fouled over the screen. The Mets had a win in their hands, and it was ripped away. Jury's familiar with a blown save. Padres got a late home run from Will Myers. His 23rd, and that game is in extra innings. Swing and a miss, ball up the line. Real Muto to the plate, and it's dropped by Bear Claw. And the White Sox have the lead. Since it went up the third base line, Real Muto had no chance to get the runner at first.
Well, you think you've seen everything in the game, you don't. Slider in the dirt. JT hustles towards it. And the hesitation right there. You're thinking it's going to be a play, but you see Kyle going after it with 2 hands. This is a play you want one hand to be used.
Oh.
A lot easier. He should have had that one right there. You ask him again. He'd say that's an easy play. That one's on him. He has to be able to settle down. He wants it. He's moving. JT using his quarterback days. Perfect throw. Just missed it. You see the reaction from Robin Ventura.
So Navarro finally scores, and here's a tough customer in Abreu. It's a strikeout and a wild pitch. And the White Sox have erased a one-run Miami lead. It's 8-7 Chicago now.
Well, we saw the numbers earlier on the night. Todd Frazier on deck, 139 coming into today's game with runners in scoring position. No way this guy beats me.
Fastball, a strike. Abreu RBI double back in the first.
Have to make him chase. Nice pitch.
Family of Jose Abreu.
All his close friends and family call him Pito Abreu. Pito is his nickname.
One and two. His 5-year-old son last night getting to see him play for the first time as a major leaguer. One, two. Got him. Slider for strike three. But the White Sox get two, and the Marlins lead is gone. To the bottom of the 8th we go. The White Sox on top. Ichiro in the on-deck circle. Echeverria leads it off, and it looks like Ichiro will hit second. And tomorrow on Marlins Live, our one-on-one with Ichiro. Post 3,000. Talking about the record, his career, his early years, and even his time with the Marlins. It's tomorrow on Marlins Live. 12:30 start for that. Now the White Sox have a 1-run lead. They'll try to protect. Nate Jones. Echeverria steps out. Jones came in and got an out last night. Echeverria fouls that one back. White Sox bullpen protected a late lead last night. Check swing. Didn't go. That's 2-2. So Echeverria, Ichiro, Gordon in the 8th. And Nate Jones strikes out at Danny Echeverria.
How about this one? Straight from the top, almost like catchers, then wiggles his wrist right before the release. Watch that right there. Wiggles his wrist right there. Then delivers from that position. Different timing for the opposing hitters.
Ichiro's last 2 at bats have been 2 doubles, and both have been cracked off the bat. One was a ground rule double bouncing out off the warning track in left center, and then a line drive into the corner last night. Sends that one out to center, but plenty of room for Eaton, who wanders over and makes the catch. Little by little, D. Gordon's average on base percentage have been rising. 2 more hits, 2 more runs tonight. It's 2 for 4. That is foul. Zipped over the head of Jerry Lane. 0-2. And he got him. And Nate Jones goes 1-2-3 through the Marlins in the bottom of the 8th. 7 White Sox. This edition of Inside the Marlins, host Jessica Blaylock dives into the battle of pitchers and catchers against the evil empire. Yes, hitters. Features exclusive interviews with legends Charles Johnson, Kevin Brown, Al Leiter. New show debuts tomorrow after Marlins Live postgame on Fox Sports Florida. Well, the hitters have been winning most of the battles here tonight, as is evident by the 15 runs and 23 hits. It's the White Sox who are 1 run better after 8. Fernando Rodney is in for the 9th. And Rodney will get Todd Frazier, Tim Anderson, and Jason Coates. With A.J. Ramos on the disabled list, Rodney has taken over that closer role, and he's pitched well in that role. The 8th inning assignment did not go as well. His last 2 8th innings, that run in Chicago, when both Rodney and Ramos had difficulties. Marlins blew that lead, blew that game Wednesday in Chicago. And then Rodney gave up 3 in a Friday night game against the Rockies, in which the Marlins came back and won. Frazier, a ground ball third. Prado on to Rojas to get the outs. MLB.com @bat. It's the app you need if you're a baseball fan. It gets you hooked up. Game day. Follow every game in Major League Baseball. StatCast. You get your exit velocity. How far was that home run? All of that. Just download MLB.com @bat. #1 app for live baseball on your phone and your tablet or your device or your watch. Or your flat screen too, right? You can stream that now.
Yes, you can.
Should we make it 401 devices? Is that a device, or are you streaming from a device onto the flat screen?
I think the flat screens already have, the smart TVs already have those apps in there.
401. We are building that number up.
Let's do it.
Anderson's got 2 hits, a double and a single. Mr. Cutter, David Robertson. Marlins got a steady diet of that. Look who's the bullpen coach for the White Sox. You're talking about the old White Sox bullpen. That's Bobby Thigpen.
A nice conversation with him today.
Prado, Yelich, Stanton for the Marlins, all with 2 hits. But Rodney's got to deliver the game to that bottom of the 9th and keep it at just a 1-run deficit. This is Coates, who is homered and singled.
Good pick by Rojas at first base. JT had pre-planned to throw that ball over there, but when that ball's on the inside corner of a right-handed hitter, you'd rather the pitch be away so it'll take him towards first base.
Two. Runner goes, good jump, swing and a miss. Or was it a foul tip and not held? And I think it's being called a foul tip. Realmuto didn't hold it. This is almost one of those where you think about the transfer rule, right? Let's see if it went in the glove and came out when he tried to throw.
I thought he had it. He was trying to. He had that.
That's the transfer rule. Does that apply to catchers on a strike 3?
I don't see why not. He had possession of that.
But the deal is this: if you challenge, I mean, if it's overruled, the runner ends up at second because he was running.
I'll take my chances. I'll take my chances. Go after Navarro. I want the outs. I'll trade the outs right now.
Trade the out, put a runner at second, go after Navarro?
Yes. Right now, I have no idea what's going to happen. I'd rather just be 1 out away from ending the inning.
Now, I've seen the transfer rule, obviously, with double plays, outfielders, even infielders catching pop-ups and balls away. I don't think I've ever seen a catcher in a situation like that where it's been called a catch and a drop on transfer. Bouncer wide of partner.
I'm with you.
You know what? I think homework tonight for tomorrow, that's a visit to the umpire room tomorrow.
Oh, yes. I was thinking the same exact thing, to find out if that is a challengeable. You figure it would be, right?
Well, I think there's 2 questions. Number 1, do the same rules apply to a catcher as they do to a fielder? And number 2, is it something you can challenge?
He has it right there, and the reason he drops it is because he's transferring the baseball. And now you end up with a hit by pitch, runners at first and second, 1 out.
And that's why you want that out.
You want that out.
Again, that's if that out's available by rule.
Exactly. If the runner is not going, strike 3 because he caught it. No problem.
Right, because he's not bringing it back to throw.
Right.
Well, now Rodney's going to try to pitch his way out of this. Here's Navarro. And Rodney needs to start throwing strikes because the 9 spots up, you've got pinch hitting availability for the White Sox. J.B. Shuck on deck. Navarro out in front of a changeup, pops it foul. Runners go, swing and a miss. Realmuto's throw, and stolen bases, 2 of them.
Tim Anderson with runners, second and third. He's the runner at second. Great jump off Rodney, especially with a left-handed hitter at the plate. Excellent jump.
So a walk, a hit batter, and now a double steal.
Nice job by Coates.
Infield in.
On the follow.
And a swing and a miss out in front of an off-speed pitch. And so Navarro is out. Here comes Shuck. J.B. Shuck.
original Angel. Came up.
Shuck, who has played for the Astros, for the Angels, for the Indians. Marlins saw him last night. He was 0 for 4. Ball and a strike. White Sox threatening in the 9th. Already with a 1-run lead. Bouncer to short. Echeverria has the hop, has the outs. And Rodney holds it at 1. Martin Prado has homered. Yelich has got 2 hits. Stanton has homered. And the Marlins are down a run. Baseball on Fox Sports Florida is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica. And by your South Florida Honda dealers. Well, a wild ride arrives in the bottom of the 9th, and Miami is a run shy of the White Sox. J.B. Shuck's going to stay in the game, and he's out in center field. Adam Eaton, a great outfielder himself, slides over to right. And a guy the Marlins had some difficulties with last night, David Robertson, former Yankee. Martin Prado, Christian Yelich, Giancarlo Stanton. Prado takes fastball, ball 1. White Sox rallied for 2 runs in the 8th against the Marlins pen. And now it's the White Sox pen that's trying to hold the lead. Robertson last night struck out Real Muto and Echeverria and got Rojas to bounce out and nailing down the save. But as we noted last night, he's had issues this year.
White Sox are playing the outfield straight up against Martin Prado. Rarely see this. Usually see You leave it right there. You usually see the center fielder in this position, more in the right center field position.
Prado liner, and he hit it right on the button. Anderson makes the play. Nothing wrong with that swing.
He barreled this one. Fortunately for him, right at Tim Anderson.
Now Yelich. Doubled in the third, singled in the sixth.
That's what that cutter does, just hard in on the hands. Starting out over the plate. Last minute, you have to bring your hands in. For left-handed hitters, tough pitch.
Comes back, catches the corner. 1-2. Two balls, two strikes. Robertson has blown 6 saves this year. He has completed 28 of them. And he strikes out Yelich.
Slider disappears at the last minute, creating the chase. 2 outs, the big man up.
Stan has had 4 really nice at bats. The 2 outs he's made have been hit hard. And he swings wildly at a slider. Marlins live post game coming up. Right now, a frustrating night for the Marlins. Stan hits a little pop, right center field. Eaton charging, can't get it. Rolls away from him, and Stan's going to try to get to second, and he falls and he's out, and the game is over. Let's hope he's okay. It looked like he caught a spike, and that sent him down. Eaton, who leads the majors now with 17 assists, throws out Stanton and essentially ends the game. It'll go as a single. Stanton trying to get himself into scoring position. Here's a look. Ouch.
His left leg. Wonder if something grabbed on him right there. Maybe a hamstring or something.
Well, he's walking off the field now on his own power.
It's one we have to look at, is that left leg. What an odd way where the Marlins end up losing this game.
Stanton walking towards the bat rack. This is a painful loss in a lot of ways. 8-7, the White Sox get to the Marlins pen and have taken the first 2 of this series. Marlins Live postgame is next.